Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, acclaimed executive chef David Standridge shares a delicious seafood recipe and talks about his efforts to be a voice in seafood sustainability awareness. David Standridge is executive chef of the Shipwright's Daughter in Mystic, Connecticut, a sea-to-table restaurant focusing on sustainable local seafood. A 2024 James Beard Award finalist for Best Chef Northeast, he has dedicated his career to promoting responsible fishing practices, and for the second straight year has been recognized as a leader in the James Beard Foundation's Smart Catch program.
We're in the Clark Sub-Zero and Wolf showroom, and I am joined by David Standridge, executive chef at the Shipwright's Daughter in Mystic, Connecticut. And given that you are located right on the water, it's no surprise that you're making seafood for us today. What do you have for us?
That's right. Today we have a beautiful local scup, and we're going to make a pickled scup dish.
Why do you like cooking with scup?
Well, it's a super sustainable fish. We really try to focus on things that are local and abundant, and it's here and available all along the New England coast.
What's the first step in the process?
So the first step is we're going to take this filleted scup, and we're going to just season it a little bit with salt. And we have a very hot pan here. We're going to add some high heat oil, and then we're going to place the scup in the pan. And then you want to push it down a little bit. You can use your fingers like me if your fingers are scarred, or you can use a spatula, but you don't want it to pucker up. You want to make sure it stays flat for the first few seconds of cooking. So that's going to cook for about 4 minutes.
Now, you actually served this exact dish at the James Beard dinner.
I did.
So the home chef might hear that and get a little intimidated, but is this something that we can easily recreate in our kitchen?
Very easily. It's an opportunity to be able to buy fish on your shopping day and extend the life of it. You feel like if you buy fish, you have to cook it right away and eat it right away. And you can maybe do that with some of it, and the rest of it you can preserve like this and eat it later in the week or have it for lunch, kind of like you would other proteins.
With your focus on sustainability, what are some things that you're paying attention to when it comes to pickling the vegetables, given that some of them may be available during different seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of idea with the fish. When vegetables are fresh and ready, we want to get a lot of them, and we want to hold on to them, especially in New England where the winter comes and it's nothing but turnips. We want some fresh spring vegetables that we can still kind of use, and this is the perfect opportunity to do that. And you can use any pickled vegetables that you want for this. In a lot of cultures, you would do escabeche or root vegetables or carrots, radishes, anything you want.
How are you playing around with some of these ingredients that you might not see in recipes every day?
Yeah, I mean, we really try to stay hyper-local with the ingredients that we use, and part of it is that we're trying to get people to eat things that they sort of should eat. Like sugar kelp is a great example. It's a climate superhero. It takes a lot of carbon out of the atmosphere. It's zero input farming, and not like agriculture where you have to use chemicals or fertilizers to get a product out. And sometimes things like slipper limpets and green crabs, they're abundant, they're available, they're delicious, but we want people to stop being afraid of it and try it at the restaurant and then maybe ask for it at their markets.
What are some of those practices you have in place at the Shipwright's Daughter when it comes to sustainability?
Yeah, so we only work with small fishermen in the area. All of our fish comes into the Stonington Town Dock, which is just a couple miles away. And we only use species that are readily available. One thing that's really special is that we don't tell the fishermen what to go and get. I think it's crazy to tell a fisherman, like, go out to the ocean and find me a 2-pound sea bass. We're just asking for whatever you catch, and we need this many pounds of fish, and we'll buy whatever you bring to us, and we'll find interesting ways to use it and to create markets for fish that people aren't used to eating.
So as a chef, you might not know what you're cooking that day.
Almost never.
Really?
It just comes in, I get little text messages, I caught this, and I say, okay, we'll figure it out.
You really try to play with the local seasonal ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely. For our fish and for our vegetables, for everything that we use, we try to stay local.
What is it like being a part of the dining scene in Mystic, Connecticut, where you've been since 2020? Because it seems like in recent years, it's really exploded there.
It really has, and it was great when I moved there in 2019, and it's greater still now. And it's such a great community. And not only the restaurateurs, but the farmers and the fishermen and the artisans who make our plates. It's just a really supportive community. Everyone's rooting for each other and helping.
What's something that you've been really proud of in opening your restaurant?
I think really the thing I'm most proud of is just building a community and having partners like the farmers that we have here and the fishermen that we have here, and just the feeling that we're building something special.
This is looking pretty good. How are we doing?
So it's basically ready. We're gonna just flip it for just a couple of seconds on the other side. And you can see it's nice and crispy. And then we will place it in the bowl. And then this is a mixture of all the pickling liquids from our vegetables. And we're gonna just spoon that right over the top. And now this can be chilled in the refrigerator. You could serve it now, or you could serve it up to 7 days later in kind of any way you want. And then we're just gonna start garnishing. First we have some sugar kelp that's been julienned. It just goes in the broth. These are some pickled ramps that we're gonna just put now on top of the fish. These are the smoked pickled sea beans, nice and crunchy. And then a few sourdough croutons. And then we have our greens, the foraged seagrass, it's another succulent, and some peppery nasturtium leaves. And then we're gonna finish that with a little bit of basil sugar kelp oil.
And there we go. This is smelling delicious. It's also looking amazing. And for more on the Shipwright's Daughter and for more cooking segments, head to our website, newenglandliving.tv.